Hello everyone, welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time to my channel. Today, as you saw in the description of the video, I'm going to be talking about my Sephora VIB sale purchase. So if you'd like to know what I bought and see me do a demo of the products, keep watching. Okay, so I went ahead and did part of my makeup, which is mostly just my base, because I didn't have a full face of new products that I bought from the sale. So I did everything that I didn't buy from the sale, and then I'll demo the products that I did buy. Next up, I want to be totally transparent in the fact that I only technically bought one item from this sale, but I still thought the video would be interesting to share with you all because this was actually my first ever Sephora purchase in my life. I know. So there's an Ulta like a 30-minute drive from me, but I couldn't even tell you where there's a Sephora. Like maybe there's one within a mall like a JCPenney or a Kohl's or something, but I've never shopped there. So this is my first experience. I will say it took a very long time to ship, but from what I'm seeing online, that's the experience everybody had, just with the extra precautions they're taking in their distribution centers right now. So I'm not going to hold that against them. I did think it was cool that you actually got to pick samples that you got to try as well as the item that you purchased, something Ulta doesn't do. However, I will say I thought it told me I could pick 3 samples, maybe not. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but only 2 came. One sample I got was the Drunk Elephant Whipped Cream. I have never tried Drunk Elephant, but I hear people on YouTube, you probably have to talk about it all the time. So there's just a little single-use packet. I'm not going to be using that today just because I did already put on my skincare this morning, but I will be trying the moisturizer out. And then the other thing I requested for a sample that I remember was the Huda Beauty concealer. That's not what they gave me. So they basically were like, well, you can choose your samples, but also you're not guaranteed this is what we'll actually send you, which is, I'm like, why do you bother asking kind of? But they did not send me that. They sent me the Bare Minerals Gen Nude Patent Lip Lacquer. So that is this little sample. I think we're going to try one of those today. They gave us 4 shades. And I don't know, we'll see what eye look I do, and then that'll probably determine the lip. So the one thing I did purchase was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Carly Bible palette. I know. You guys know I have a sick addiction with eyeshadow. I just do. If you don't believe me, I'll link down below my entire eyeshadow collection, which I think I have purchased 3 eyeshadow palettes since that video even. So, it's fine. The reason I bought this is because originally it's a $45 palette. I have loved it ever since I saw it was coming out, but I just could not justify spending $45. You guys know I rarely spend full price on an item unless it's already cheap. So this particular palette was on sale for $22.50 as part of this Sephora VIB sale. So I did pick it up for $22. I was like, okay, that's a little more reasonable. So this is only the second ABH palette I have ever owned. The other one that I have is the Alyssa Edwards collab. Now that one I got from TJ Maxx. I'll also leave down at my last TJ Maxx haul if you're interested in that below. Since they haven't been open, maybe that'll give you your TJ Maxx fill since the retail is not quite open yet here in Ohio. But the one I got from TJ Maxx was $19.99, which is even cheaper by a few dollars than this. But the difference I will say is this one actually has the brush that they come with in it. I don't know if I want to use the brush or not. I've heard people say it's just kind of so-so and not that great, but the one in my Alyssa Edwards palette did not come with the brush. I mean, I was just trying to look for one that wasn't even swatched. Those of you that shop at TJ Maxx, you know how that is. So at some point, I'd like to try that brush and see how it is. But here are the colors. I think they are stunning, especially these like metallic shades in the first row, top row are really speaking to me. And I just thought this was a nice, like, pretty neutral palette, but yet it still has enough pops of color and interesting things that you could step outside of the normal nudes box of everyday makeup as well. Before I apply any eyeshadow, I always wear eyeshadow primer. You could use concealer if you wanted for this step, but I always put something on for two reasons. Number one, I find without a shadow of a doubt, if I don't wear this, my eyeshadow will in fact crease in the middle of my eye throughout the day. Number two, wearing a primer helps the actual pigmentation show up and for the shadow to just look more colorful, show the true nature of its color, not be so dull. And then third of all, I have very oily eyelids. So I find that putting a mattifying eye primer on before makes the shadow stick a little bit better to my eyelid and I don't feel so greasy and oily. That was just my Avon eyeshadow primer base that I put on there. I'm going to go with an M433 and I'm just going to start in my crease with a neutral little color here. I'm going to use Chai and just start to build that up in the crease a little bit. Right off the bat, I do notice it kind of clinging in a little area right here. So that's kind of unusual for me and eyeshadow to have it kind of like more pigmented or clinging more to certain patches than others, but we're not going to judge it too soon. Let's try some other colors. Okay, so next I'm going in with my M508 and I'm going to go in with Boy right here, this brown shade on the end. And I'm going to kind of use that as a little bit of faux liner. Okay, that's all right. I mean, it's not as dark as probably what I would normally use for a liner, but that still gives it a little bit of a lifted look. So I'm going to go in with my fingertip because I think that's probably going to work best for the shimmer. It does for most shimmers and most palettes. I'm going to go in with Libra here, and I'm going to pack that on the lid. Alright, then just because I think this is a little like boring and neutral right now, just to give it a little extra pop here, I'm going to go ahead with Bully. This is a lighter shimmer and just place it with my finger on the very center of the lid. Okay, then I'm going to go back in with the same Boy and I'm going to connect that to the outer third underneath here just to make it a little smokier. I also went back in with it just to darken that little sheer liner I had on the top. Then we take Chai, which is the first shade we started with, and put that on the other 2/3 of the under eye. I'm also going to use Chai to blend out a little bit below Boy. Alright, the one thing I will say, this is kind of first impressions of this isn't my favorite eye look I've ever created. Honestly, it's kind of like boring in my mind. Maybe I should just try to use different combinations of colors. I went mostly with the nudes. I do like the fact that Libra is more of a cool tone shimmer. I don't have that many cool toned shimmers in my collection, so that's kind of nice and different. I'd really like to play with OA and Mandela. They have more of like purple glitters to them. Just in the future, I'm sure I'll use this again on my channel sometime. And my other thing I would say is that the mattes seem extremely powdery and full of fallout. I'm not totally going to tip it, but maybe you can see here in Chai, the pan here, there's a lot of residue sitting there. Like there's a lot of fallout to the point where, I don't know, it's not that I care that there's fallout, like it's not falling out on my face, but when there's fallout in the pan, then I feel like I have to like use up all the little dust before I can dig in the shadow more, because I feel like it's wasting it if it just like falls off out of the pan and onto the floor or somewhere else and makes a mess. It's wasted product, so might keep that in mind. I'm definitely glad I didn't pay the $45 for it, but it's okay for $22. Again, I'm not saying this is a bad palette. I just need to try it again and try maybe a different combination or some different shades. All right, I am gonna go ahead and do some lash work and I will be right back. All right, well, we are about close to half an hour after I just paused that and said I was gonna do lashes and come back, because I put on one lash, prepped like both of them with the glue, put them down to get tacky, put mascara on, put on one lash, went to do the other one, and it's just gone. Like it's literally gone. And I'm kind of upset because these lashes are really good. I'm going to zoom you in and show you. So this is the eye with the falsie lash on. I think these look very natural. They blend very well with mine. It just gives it a little extra something. And then my natural lashes aren't bad, but I think you can definitely tell a difference between that and this one. So I guess we're gonna finish the video with one lash because I don't have any other lashes that are similar to this, and I only have one in this style. I wanted to do this pair today to show you. These are from Dollar Lash Club. These are mink lashes. They are starting to come out with faux mink soon. These are in the style Ivy. I do now actually have my first affiliate code with this brand, so I wanted to show you the lash because I think they're really beautiful, and these were only $3 plus shipping. I think it was about $6 by the time I paid for shipping. I think that's really reasonable for a lash that looks this good, and of course these are reusable. You can also sign up for a lash subscription with them if you want to, but I can only show you the one, so I'm sorry about that, but if you are interested, please consider shopping that link below. Okay, so sorry if I look wonky the rest of this video with one lash. I know that's not ideal, but I don't know what else to do. Like, I don't have another lash that even looks remotely like this one. That's kind of why I selected this one. So we're gonna finish this now. I just feel like flustered because that eyelash, it's literally nowhere. Like, Wesley came up and tried to help me find it, you guys. He had his flashlight trying to find it in this room, and it's just, it's gone. I don't know. I'm sorry. So we're gonna go in with the Bare Minerals sample here, and I think we're gonna go with the shade Everything. Now this comes in just like a little pod like this, so I think I'm gonna have to get some sort of a lip brush. Okay, this isn't a lip brush per se, but honestly, I don't even know if I have one. So this is what I use with most of my cream products. This is an M224. I'm just gonna go in with that little brush into this sample and brush it on the lips. Okay, so there is the lip. It is ultra glossy. I only used probably about half that sample, so you could get multiple uses out of the sample if you want. I kept the little plastic thing I'm gonna put over top of it and try to save it to use again. It is not super sticky, but it's definitely more of a gloss feel. However, it is highly pigmented. It is considered a liquid lipstick. It is very opaque. I really like this shade. I think it brings the look together really well. I'm not sure if I would buy this lip. It honestly just depends on the price. I know Bare Minerals is actually quite expensive sometimes. So I will look up in editing and leave here, right here how much it is. Because I already have so many lip products too, I usually don't run out to buy them unless they are very inexpensive. So I probably wouldn't pay more than $12 for this. So if it's more than that, I would say you can probably get something else similar. This smells amazing though. It smells like cocoa. So that was really nice and pleasant when applying it. I didn't like having to apply it with a brush, but that's just because it's a sample. Obviously that wouldn't happen in the full size of the product. So, well, that is it for today, guys. Here is the final look of my Sephora VIB purchases. Let me know down in the comments if you all shopped that, if you're kind of just saving on a no buy right now, or what you think of, you know, shopping Sephora versus Ulta versus, you know, other places you get your makeup, or maybe you're just purely a drugstore person. Let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts. Alright guys, that is all for this week. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, talk to me in the comments, and if you're not already, please subscribe. I would love it if you would stick around, join the conversation below down in the comments. Love to hear your guys' opinions on things and your recommendations that you guys give me sometimes. So I upload new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.